What are you doing? What are you doing, baby? Precious. You're so precious. Good morning. Good morning, sweetheart. Well, a whole month. I feel like this whole entire month just kind of flew by pretty quickly right here. But I can't believe it's already been a month since I've been here. And between me and my friends, in just this little month that we've been here, we've gotten so much accomplished and so much done. I mean, I'm in the process of getting this shed built out into a tiny home right now. Still living in the bus over here. Got the land cleared. My friends, they went with getting actual tiny homes, so both of their homes have been delivered now. I've been insulating, getting the walls done. Oh, and do you guys hear that? Do you hear it? You don't? That's right. And the wind has finally started dying down. So, the weather, the temperature here is actually starting to get hot now. Today is supposed to be 90 degrees. The last 2 or 3 days, it was in the high 80s. And I noticed as soon as the temperature reached the 80 degrees, the wind started dying down. So thank goodness. Because, well, the whole entire first month that I've been here trying to get work done, carrying these heavy things of plywood and high winds and just getting work done, it was all in high winds. And that was really testing my patience. So the wind, I mean, it's still there, just not a constant high wind all day. That was absolutely crazy. So it looks like for the next rest of this month and next month, we might get a break in some weather. But then come to July, that's our monsoon season out here. And according to a lot of the locals that I met, they said, trust me, you want the rain for July. So looks like we're going to have a window until July. But I do want to talk about the shed. You know, when I first got the shed here and I first announced that I was going to turn it into my temporarily tiny home, a lot of people were nice about it, you know, so thank you guys, because I've already asked you guys if y'all have any suggestions or advice. You know, this is all new to me, so please let me know. I'd love to hear any suggestions, helpful hints, or anything, because I'm learning. I'm learning every single day that I'm here at the property. I've never done anything like this before. But some people, which is expected, because, you know, everybody's not kind and nice in this world. It makes them happy, I guess, apparently, to be rude and negative. So some people started being very rude and jumping down my throat and just being very nasty in the comments about I was going to lose my shed with these high winds because I didn't have an anchor down or tied down or supported or whatever, and that the shed was a piece of junk anyways. I now have started finding humor in these idiotic negative comments. I mean, you have to nowadays. Otherwise, you're going to find sadness in it. So I just want to let everybody know I finally got the shed tied down. So we'll walk over there and we'll see it in a minute. But the shed is tied down now. I was sick for a couple of days. I've just been working working every single day that I've been here. So I was down in the bed, sick for a couple of days, and didn't want to get anybody else sick, so I just hunkered down inside my bus. You can still hear it in my voice a little bit. I could not do the tie downs myself. We have a lot of hard rock underneath this ground, and it was just impossible for me to try to hammer those tie downs into the ground. The tie downs, the anchors are they're about like that long, if not longer. So meaning that whole entire thing needed to go down into the ground. And I also want to point out a little bit here that I have carpal tunnel in my hands. I've mentioned that multiple times before. Like I cannot take a pen or a piece of paper and write 2 sentences down without my hands starting to hurt. So I do have carpal tunnel in my hands, and so I'm trying to work the best that I can with my carpal tunnel that I have. So trying to hammer those big, huge stakes down into the ground, I couldn't do it. It was just too much. I tried, but it was too much. So I had to get somebody to come and do the tie downs for me. And that was very nice of him to come. Kind of sucked because the day that he came, I was sick and I was inside my bus trying to get over being sick. So I didn't really get to watch him do it, and that's why I didn't film it, because I was sick. But let's go over there and see the tie downs. All right, got a bunch of stuff outside, but we'll just walk around real quick. Probably see it from the back. Oh, there we go. So there we go. So this, and as you guys can see, I don't know if you guys can see it underneath. So the shed is now anchored into the ground. And I'll be quite honest with you, some really big, huge, I don't know what you guys call them, dirt devils, dust devils, big old huge dirt tornadoes. Some of those have already hit the shed full force, and it didn't even make the shed budge. So the shed is made very well. But legally also, with the county, when you have structures out here, they do require you to have the tie downs. So I had to put the tie downs on either way. So I had to get blocks for the shed to go on top of, another requirement. And when we found this block place about an hour away, and they're a business that sells all different kinds of blocks. They were actually cheaper than Home Depot or Lowe's to buy a block, because I think like in Home Depot or Lowe's, to get like a cinder block, it's like $2 or $3. And at this place, it was like $1 or $2 a piece. So while I was there, I saw these blocks, and these were only $2 a piece. And so I decided to make me a little outdoor fire pit. I mean, not bad for $2 a piece. But after I went to the block place to get all these blocks for the shed, unexpectedly doing the fireplace right here, fire pit, it made me do some thinking, because we do deal with some high winds out here. This is the high desert. It is high elevation, and it's all open land. So all of that means contributions for it to be really high winds. So building things, we have to put into consideration the high winds. And that made me do a lot of thinking. And I did a lot of researching too. And then I had somebody leave in the comments suggesting something like this before too. So to the person that suggested building with cinder blocks, thank you. Because I saw your comment and that made me start thinking and start doing some research. So I love cooking outside. I mean, I have a whole setup over here. The table outside of my bus, that's kind of my outdoor kitchen. I rarely cook inside the bus. I will have a little kitchen inside the shed once that's all set up, because realistically we are going to get a lot of snow out here for the winter, and I'm not going to want to stand outside and cook in the snow. But all the other seasons where there's not snow, I do want to cook outside. I mean, it's just a different feeling being able to cook your breakfast, lunch, and dinner outside, listening to the birds, Mother Nature, and just being surrounded by the good old outdoors. So I wanted to be able to build an outdoor kitchen. But I think with the high winds that we get here, I don't think it's going to be very smart to build anything with just pallets or wood, like I was originally thinking and my friends were originally thinking, because it's just going to take one big, huge gust of wind or one of those dirt devils to just collapse the wood and pallets or break them in half, you know. So giving it a lot of thought, I think I'm going to build an outdoor kitchen with cinder blocks. I've already been doing a lot of research on it. So with cinder blocks, you know, those are really heavy. And it's going to take, actually, I don't think a big gust of wind is going to be able to knock them down, because I will do it with cement and what are they called? The rebars in the ground and all that. I think basically I'm going to do 3 walls of cinder blocks, so it'll be like a U-shaped, and then I'll have my indoor kitchen inside, and I'm going to have one wall that's going to be completely, you know, one section that's going to be completely open. So I will have 3 walls. I was going to do 2 walls and have the back and the front completely open, but I feel like that would have been a tunnel. If the wind would have came through, or a dirt devil or anything like that would have came through, that would have been like a tunnel it wouldn't have been blocking the wind. So I think I'm going to do 3 walls. And originally I was thinking about building the outdoor kitchen on the back of the shed, and then I was going to use the back wall of the shed as a wall, and then that would have been 2 walls of cinder blocks. But I don't think I want it on the back of the shed. Yeah, I don't know. So I'm thinking about maybe somewhere in this area right here, even somewhere over there maybe. I can always move the bus. I can move the bus like over here or something, because I'm not really going to be using the bus too much once I start living in the shed. So I can always move the bus, and then I can maybe do my outdoor kitchen where the bus is. I have some time to think about it. I don't want to start multiple projects all at once, because that's going to be too much on me. So I'm going to focus on one thing at a time. So right now my focus is on that shed and getting it finished and livable. And then after the shed, I am going to build a fire rack. I was going to buy a fire rack, but I'm enjoying doing things on my own with my own 2 hands. I really am. So I've done a lot of research on how I can build a firewood rack. But I'd like to go ahead and get the firewood rack built, because I'd like to go ahead and start bringing some firewood in, even though I won't be using the firewood right now. But they say it's good for you to let it sit for months and dry out and season the firewood. So I'd like to go ahead and get that built. I'll figure out, I don't know why I'm looking over there. I'll figure out where that's gonna go. Probably behind the shed. But the firewood's gonna be for like my wood burning stove for the winter, because I do plan on getting a very small wood burning stove for the shed. And then eventually I'd like to have a campfire. Since we've been here at the property, we haven't had one campfire yet because of the high winds. But I think we should be able to have one soon. Yay. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm taking things slow, but then I feel like I'm not. But I know a lot of you guys keep saying, oh my God, you've gotten so much done in just a month that you've been there. And, you know, I sit back and look at it, and I guess you guys are right. I have gotten a good bit done in just 1 month that I've been here. Like I said, I've been working every single day. Every day was working. Even on the days that I would sit down and edit a video, after I finished editing or before I started editing the video, I would come out here and work on something. But I have to be honest with you guys, because I did get really, really sick, and I was down for a couple of days. I had a really bad sore throat. My ears were really hurting. I was congested, and I had a little fever. And I know that's because I was overworking myself and working a lot. So for this week right here, I'm taking pretty much a lot of this week off right here and just relaxing. I have some friends that are coming to visit me. I've got, you guys hear me talk about her all the time in my videos, my Canadian Donna. She's my Canadian. Nobody else is. But anyway, she's working, her time's up here in the United States. She's got to work her way back to Canada. And so she stopped here. She got here 2 days ago, and she's only here for 2 more days. So, so yeah, she stopped here to come say, hey, spend some time, see the place. So she's here right now. I've got 2 other friends that are coming this week. They're only going to be here for a couple of days. One of them is a guy, and he doesn't know yet, but I'm having a hard time doing the plywood on my ceiling inside the shed, because I am pretty short, and those pieces of plywood are pretty heavy. So when my friend gets here, the one that's a guy, I will be putting him to work, and I'm going to see if he can do the ceiling for me. It's already insulated and all that stuff. I just need somebody to be able to put the plywood up for the ceiling. So then another thing that I've decided since I've been here, you know, inside the bus I have a compost toilet, and I've been using my compost toilet when I was traveling full time, still using it right now. And I'm going to continue using that whole system, my compost toilet that's in the bus, until I get an actual home built. Because I haven't made up my mind. I kind of know what kind of home I want to build, but I'm going to let that be a surprise when that time comes that I announce it. But that's going to be next year that I start working on the actual home, my actual home. So until I get my actual home built, I think I'm just going to use my compost toilet. I'll just take the compost toilet out, put it in the shed. Just makes more sense. I am going to still build an outhouse though. In the outhouse, the reason why I've decided to still build an outhouse is because what if I have people that come and visit me that are tent camping, or they don't have an RV, or they don't have a way to use the restroom? I mean, let's face it, like, what if my Aunt Cindy comes to visit me? I don't want anybody using my compost toilet, not even my aunt. That's my personal toilet. So, and I'm not going to make my aunt dig a hole to go use the bathroom in the hole and then cover it up. So I do want to build the outhouse mainly for like when I might have people come visit, you know, like my Aunt Cindy, or, you know, some of my good friends that don't have setups and RVs and rigs or portable toilets. So for an outhouse, I know some people put their outhouses right beside their structure they're living in, or they put it behind it. Me personally, I don't want an outhouse so close to where I'm going to live at. So I've decided, I don't know if you guys can see the little walkway up here, but I've already kind of walked it. And then up there in that little area that kind of looks a little white out of all that grass and green stuff, that's where I'm going to put the outhouse at. And then I'll have a little walkway, and the walkway will, you know, go up there to the outhouse. That is something I'm not rushing on right now either, because I have my compost toilet. But ideally, I will have the outhouse done before winter time. So I've got plenty of time. I don't have, as of right now, I don't really have, my aunt's not going to come visit me this year. I don't think I really have any other friends that are going to come out that don't have their own toilets. You know, like all my friends, my Canadian here, she's in a van. She has her own bathroom in her van. My two friends that are coming later on this week, they're in vans, so they have set up. So pretty much all my friends that are coming right now, they're all travelers, so they all have their own bathroom setups. But eventually I'm going to have people show up, and I'd like to have a bathroom for them. And it's not going to be that hard to do the outhouse. And we're allowed to do outhouses here. I've already talked to the health department in this county. They even gave us a whole entire diagram on how we could do the outhouse. And we did have to get a permit to do an outhouse, but the permit was free. I like free stuff. That's my Canadian right there. She does remote work, so she's working right now inside of her van. But there she is, my Canadian. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up real quick, but and then go relax for a little bit, because I'm taking it easy this week. But real quick, something I forgot, and I wanted to address this in the beginning of this video. You know, my last video that I just released, it was me using a saw for the first time, nailing in some nails into the plywood, carrying the plywood, you know, doing actual work on the property with my own two hands. And I did mention, you know, in the video and in lots of other videos, this is all new to me. It was my first time ever touching any kind of power tools like that for construction work, or whatever you want to call it. I've never used a saw before. I've never picked up plywood. That's heavy. I've never banged nails into a wall. Okay, maybe I've banged a nail or two into a wall before, but you know, you get the point. I've never done actual hard work like this before. And like I said, it's all a learning process for me. There was a clip in the video, my last video when I was using the saw, and you know, my dreadlocks have gotten really long. My dreadlocks are now down to about right here. Some of them are. and they've gotten pretty long. And, you know, when I'm doing work, I try to put my hair up because I just don't want it getting in the way, getting in my face and all that stuff. And I was bent over and I was using that saw, and I did have my dreadlocks in a ponytail. It was my fault for not putting my dreadlocks up even higher. I didn't realize how long my dreadlocks have gotten. I didn't realize how long they hang down, even in a ponytail. And when I was sawing that piece of plywood, I was overjoyed with excitement to be using a saw and doing some work like that. I was taking it very, very slow, but I did not notice that my dreadlocks were hanging and they were so close to the saw. I didn't notice that until I saw the video. And, you know, I was taking it really easy, and that's still no excuse because it only takes 1 second for that saw to catch my dreadlock. But there was, I don't know what it's called, but it's like a protective thing over the saw. You could tell I've never used a saw before. I'm sure some of you guys are about to be in the comments going, that's called a, but there was a protective thing over that. But after seeing the video, from now on, when I'm doing hard work or working with any kind of tools, I will be wrapping my dreadlocks up in a bun and securing them because, yeah, I don't need something catching my dreadlock and there being some injury or something, you know. So, but I realized the mistake that I made in that. And, you know, you guys have to realize this is all new for me. And I'm going to make mistakes, and that could have been a horrible mistake. I understand that. Could have been a horrible mistake. And I need to be more extra careful on things like that. I'm learning, you know, this is just all new to me. I'm trying to figure it out. And so I just want to let you guys know I caught that. I did catch it. And I will be more smart from now on taking the precautions with my dreadlocks going up in a bun. They're just getting so long, and trying to put them up in a bun is hard now because they're so long. But I love them. I know some of you guys don't, but I do. So anyways, the water tank, I still haven't gotten water in the water tank yet. I will be taking that up a little bit more because this land up there is angled. So that's going to be nice to have the water tank at an angle up there, you know, the gravity fed thing, whatever. So I am going to put this up on cinder blocks for right now. I did talk to a couple of locals in the area on how to keep this from freezing. So I will be taking them up on that. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and get this up on cinder blocks. Get it filled, and I think this is a good enough time to test it out on how long it's going to last me, and then before winter, get it refilled again, get it topped off. So that's going to be coming soon. I've already got the cinder blocks here for it to go on top of, and this thing weighs pretty, it's got some good weight on it, and with it empty, a couple of those big, huge tornadoes of dirt have already hit it also. The one that you guys saw in the last video, that really huge, huge, huge one, it actually hit that full force and it didn't knock it over, and that was empty. So I think it'll be fine to put it up on cinder blocks. We're gonna test it out, see how it does. I did get a trash can, an outdoor trash can now, and I had to get an outdoor trash can because, you know, the trash can that I have inside the bus, it's just a regular 13-gallon kitchen trash can. And every time that would get full, I was having to run and take the trash. And I don't want to, and neither do my friends, we don't want to have to be going to the landfill every single week taking our trash. So now we all got trash cans. And now whenever our trash inside our structures, our homes or whatever gets full, we put it in here. And whenever that gets full, then I will take all the trash out, put it in the Jeep. I'll call my friends, see if they have any trash that needs to go, and then I'll make a trip to the landfill. And so we all take turns taking trash to the landfill also. It's just basically whenever one of us is ready to go. So then I got a grill, because I love grilling and I love cooking. And now that I have actual land and home, I really wanted a stand-up grill. So one of my friends actually bought this for me because I do have a birthday coming up in a couple of weeks. And so my friend knew I really wanted a grill, and that was a birthday present from one of my friends, was the grill. And I've already broken it in. So I'm excited to have the grill. It's the littlest things that make me excited. So yeah, that's the plan on what I have in mind for right now here at the land, what I'm doing, what I did. And whew, I'm actually glad I'm taking a couple of days to just relax this week and take it easy, enjoy some friends being here, and then get back to work. Ideally, I'd like to have the walls finished in the shed and painted and everything within the next few weeks. And then I start getting it all prepared and to live in. Yeah. So thank you guys for following along on another journey of mine. You know, for the ones that, I know there's a lot of you guys that are new right now to the channel and probably have just found me from getting this land right here. But for all the ones that followed me for the last 4.5 years when I was traveling full time and living in a Jeep and living in my bus and traveling and seeing all these amazing places, and you guys are still here to watch me on another journey and a new chapter in my life. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. And for all the new ones, welcome. Thank you also. You know, I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for you guys. So I'm so appreciative every day. And I get so excited every time I sit down to edit a video or a film to share with you guys what's new and what I'm doing. That's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting to actually have people to share it with and that enjoy watching. So thank you. And with that being said, time to go relax. Enjoy this beautiful day of no wind. Go check out and see what my Canadian's doing over there. And go hang out with my baby. That's my dog. My little one. She's getting old. She's going to be 14 in a couple of months. She's an old lady. Got to give her a lot of attention and time because her time is limited for sure. But anyways, gotta go spend time with my baby. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. Stay tuned. Till next time.